Disclaimer: the information and education material contained herein is meant to promote the general understanding and dialogue of GAN's processing. Such information is not meant or intended to serve as a substitute for a healthcare professional's clinical training, experience, or judgment. For patients and individuals, such information is not to be a substitute for professional medical, therapeutic, or healthcare advice or counseling. For medical issues or concerns, including decisions about medications and other treatments, readers, viewers, listeners should always consult their physician or, in serious cases, seek immediate assistance from emergency personnel. Prescription information, procedures, and use of medical devices information should be undertaken only by properly trained and certified medical personnel. We specifically disclaim any warranties, express or implied, including implied warranties of merchantability or fitness for a particular purpose. Such information is provided, as is, and is believed to be accurate at the time of its publishing, but it is the viewer's job to evaluate the accuracy of any information found in this presentation. Every case presented is of their own experience, applied by themselves for themselves, and it applies to their case only. Every person experiencing health problems should seek professional medical advice and consult their course of treatment with a doctor. The processes of plasma balancing described herein are a natural process which supports the body but does not replace medical advice or therapies one is already subject to.
No borders. We can't track people anymore. No banking system because we'll meet most of our needs. No restriction on governments to be abusive against their citizens. You don't like to live in this map condition, you move to another within seconds. No persecution, because in putting you in prison to persecute you, you can move your body from the cell. There's a lot of things with it. One planet, one nation, one race. You choose the place and space you want to live, where and what time and where to be. There is no need for visas and all the things we create. We are better, you come into us. Why the nations have created this visa business and passport business and restriction? Because we've stolen from you for long enough, now we want to keep it. We can't have it. That's all it is. And the rest has to follow, because if you want to go with the thieves, they asked us to make you something, we give you a passport. Look at the whole visa situation and passport situation in reality in the back. There is no abuse. You'll be in Rome, Paris, in Tehran, or in Africa, or whatever, because they can't abuse you, because you can move on. Would there be refugees? Ends all these things. All these things will become in the history book of them very soon. Very, very soon. The biggest problem will be the officials who think they can lose control. So this gas enhancement units which we put in the market now, you buy it, we try to make it them what they call car conversion of it, put it in the back of your car. Nobody can tell you how much you can drive. You don't have to have a fear if you have the money to drive the car. If you're paying €50 a week for the fuel, which most of the people do to go to work or shop or whatever, that's $2,500 you don't pay anymore. That's half of it taxes to the government, which you don't pay, which you have to cover. But the other half does not go to Saudi Arabia. We see the richest monarch, the most abusing nation of their own nationals. As I said to the people we were in this morning, you signed a contract for hundreds of billions to get the supply, and now you don't need. What are you going to do with that 400 billion? It will come to our governments, these things very soon, that we need to be governed by one word. And sooner or later, we set the scene, we imply and apply the scene, that it goes to the Universal Council. You will see in a matter of handful of years, Universal Council will be one of the leading positions even within the United Nations. In the structure, one nation, one planet, one race is I'm a citizen of the planet Earth. That's all it is. Then which part of it you come from? I come from the green part called Europe. I come from the desert part called Africa, the north part of the. I come from the forest side is called Brazil. We don't call ourselves, I'm a Brazilian, I'm Chinese or whatever. They don't know you. They just see a feature of the soul of the man created on planet Earth. As I explained to you, one of the knowledge is when you travel the depths of the universe, the soul of those who come from Earth is very distinct. They know this soul, it comes from Earth. It's like you Chinese going into Paris and trying to speak French or English. You're still Chinese. Because we see that feature, soul of the man in space has a feature which is the feature of the strength of the souls from this planet. The good thing with Keshe Foundation is that we are not theoretical, we're delivering, and knowledge, science, technology, politics all comes together. We're proud you're born in this time and place that you can see this transition. My great-grandmother used to say, I've seen how your great-grandfather used to go with camels from Afghanistan to Palestine and come back once a year. I've seen how we went to the cars and the bus and the planes and whatever it is. In my little eye, I've seen these changes. And with your little eyes and your soul, from now on, you see bigger changes in a very short time than our parents or forefathers seen in centuries. Because you're doing it for yourself, and it's not somebody else to do it. That you don't need to learn how to become a pilot or have a car to drive or go to an airport to take a flight. All that now, you're responsible, you're captain of your soul. And you decide, I put my soul into abuse.
Hello, everyone, and welcome. Welcome to the 522nd Knowledge Seekers Workshop here on Thursday, January 25th, 2024. This is a broadcast of the Keshe Foundation Spaceship Institute Education Department and part of the public teachings in English. This special broadcast is 3 hours later than our normal time, and we'll begin right away. And we begin with Mr. Keshe will be presenting this workshop, which he has done for the last 521 workshops as well. And we welcome him. Welcome, Mr. Keshe. Please go ahead.
Thank you very much. Good morning, good day to you, as usual, wherever and whenever you listen to this series of knowledge seekers of the Keshe Foundation and Spaceship Institute. We welcome you back as usual, and we'll see what is written in the books of the knowledge that we could read from and share some, as the knowledge belongs to Him. We are all servants to His creation. When we listen to the intro and when we listen to many other teachings and the direction the Keshe Foundation has taken, it brings man to one point, and that is the point of creation. In reality is that we ourselves have decided at a certain point in our life, or we will decide, those of us who are not in that position, or we are alive because somebody made a decision, two people, to create a soul, and we are the creation of it. And the same way we create our children, we become creator of other souls. And then they become the others and the others and the rest. But in essence, every one of us, every generation, leaves a connection to us, and then us to our forefathers. One question to ask is, where did our forefathers' original fields came from? And we call it to be the universe, to be collection of fields that created. But the question comes to one point: what is the origin? Where did all this come from? And who created the magnetic field? If we consider ourselves, we as the whole of universe, to be, let's say, a ball, a door, in the hand of another structure, created by fields of another structure, where did that door come from? You can't have a door without the flowers. Where did that flower come from? Where is the origin of that flower? And as I said many times, in one of the final books we go to, we have to understand the origin of where all this started. How it became about that even magnetic fields were created. What is the science behind it? And where the origin of creation comes, that led to the creation of the first fields, that led to the creation of the interaction of the residual of interaction of itself by itself, and in which environment was created that universe could be created in it. Nothing can exist without a containment, without a container, without a space to contain it in. It does not matter if you put it in a pot, you make a plastic bag, or you just create fields around it. This essence, the knowledge of the creation, man has to understand before he becomes the man of space. Before he joins the universal community, he has to understand where his universe came from, that is part of community of. If you as a man or a woman created the field that led to creation of the another soul, and this soul in the term of time interacted with the others the way you were created. One Chinese, one English, two Chinese, two Iranian, one American, and the rest of it led to a mixture of the races on this planet. Now you have to consider what mishmash led to creation of man. We put everything down as because of the geography, because of the water, because of this, because of that. Everything has a soul which led to creation of us or life. Doesn't matter where. But who is behind the original fields which led to the creation of the earth and led to the creation of the sun, and the energies which created the sun, where the soul of the sun came from. Then this dilemma, this question has to be answered by man to know where it's going in the space. What's the purpose of life? And scientifically, as men, we are reaching that point. We are reaching to the point of understanding the essence and the origin of creation. And maybe in Sanya, in China, for the first time we'll show the first signs of origin of the creation. How life, how fields come together to show this origin. Everything said has to be shown. Everything said has to be physically developed and delivered. As we said in the intro about the gas unit. You all are waiting for the gas unit to come and give you the power generator you want. We have this technology in our hand, and we've shown it again and again to the people of the authorities. They shiver and shake. They see the change. We've seen others trying to do the same, but no one creates gases the way it's done through plasma. When 2 or 3 months ago, one of the leading scientists, the Chinese government was appointed to see how we produce gases in a matter of minutes, I could see the shake in his eyes. His education as a leading authority in China worth nothing. And he knew it. I could feel the soul that he says, Guy, your mastership has no master, because now it can be done without mastership by a little boy. Now you understand the essence of the creation. We can deliver everything we said. We have delivered everything we said, but the society and the knowledge is not ready for it. When we showed the production of protein, how life is created, which leads to creation of man, the scientists touched the table and they told the top guy, and this brought all their knowledge to zero. When we can run a simple system, and with it proteins created from the environment of interaction of it does not need Earth, does not need the structure of the solar system. You can create a physical life anywhere in the universe. And we have shown it. And for the first time in Sanya, we show how life, how protein was created, and how we can create any life in any position, anywhere in the universe. Because we control the fields of creation. We control the understanding of the creation. The presentation in the next few weeks in China will bring a change in the threshold of the science of man. We leave the systems and we'll leave different environments, and you watch what is created in those systems during the conference. One will be the condition of ocean, one will be the condition of something else, and you be witness to it. Then it comes how we create life. And then it comes, if fields can create life, where did the fields which led to the creation of us came from? Then, in the process, maybe in Tehran, maybe in Washington, we show you how we create man in a bottle, man in a system. Essence of creation of DNA and RNA in a system. Without a father, without a mother, without any interaction of the physicality of man. We have to break down these taboos, that man starts looking logically, scientifically at all aspects. Then, once you understand this, once you can see how protein is made, converted from fields, then you understand how to convert your soul as a field in transmutation to entity at the point of view where you want to manifest yourself. It's not that we can produce gases, we can produce protein, we can produce whatever. The whole point is that we can create life. And the easiest way to structure this life is to use our own soul, which is already preset as a dough, is the yeast to create the next. You do not need egg and sperm. You do not need what they call also self-geometry with DNA. Through the emotion of you, you create a being of you in front of your eyes. Does not mean to be a child. It's life. And how this life will survive the span of universe. You have to understand this process. You have to comprehend the principle of interaction and understand where it came from that led to the creation of emotion, with it to creation of life, entity. Then many of your questions should be answered. Did man, is man, would man be able to be created, is created and was created through the interaction of the fields of the environment and the essence of emotion of the creator. So the planet became the structure of DNA, and the essence of the emotion of the creator became its RNA. And if that is the way it is, then you understand why you carried the whole knowledge of creation within you, because it came in the dimension of the fields of the emotion of the creator. In essence, when the creator has the presence of his emotion, it only depends and the environment, what kind of fields interact, what creatures they create, what entities they create, that in that entity, the essence of the soul of the creator blows within them and gives them dimension of emotion and life. Now you understand why all the teaching has been put in the sequence and the way it has been done past years. And in some books, they say we blow the life into. In a way, it's the secret of creation. Your emotion does not need materials to be transferred to someone else. It's not a food. Your emotion by fields informs the other. The tear of you, the laughter of you, the anger of you in the fields transfers to another that they feel it. And this is the same with the essence, the origin of the creation of the man or any being in the universe. So man has to find, has to understand the way the interaction of his fields of his soul with the soul of physicality created his emotion, how his soul with interaction with the soul of creator creates the emotion of the soul of the man. That both the soul of the man and the soul of creator become aware of, understand and interact. Then in fact, does not matter how many souls you have, they all live within the emotion of the same fields. Is how they interact and what emotion they create for themselves, because the origin is always constant in emotion. Then the question comes, was the origin of life fields or emotion? Then it comes the question of creation. And this answers to all the mysteries and the questions that what you call the holy books have been put to you and to all the followers. I answered that question in past 2 minutes. In this, you have to find and you have to understand how you've been created. And then in the essence, in the interaction of your soul with the position you arrive in the essence of the position and time and place, the emotion you create manifests you in that position. Then you understand, even on earth, if you change the dimension, the strength of your soul, when you become master of it, you can become a dog today, a cat tomorrow, a man the day after, and a stone the day after. Then you understand, it's like putting a pea, putting a stone, putting a rice in the same cup of water. That water is the essence of emotion of the creator. And how each one reacts in that water is the essence of the soul of that entity. If you understood, if man ever understands what is being said, man has found the key to the essence of the creation and the creator. And in a way, as I said, it takes 1 second for one to reach the soul, the understanding emotion of his creator, and some bang their heads against it and on the floor 17 times a day, and they still will never find, never understand, and never reach the point of maturity of what 1 second a peasant, a child at the womb of the mother, or at the time of birth and 80 years on this planet can reach, and in a way does not want to carry the physicality. In essence, if you don't understand this, you will see everything we show and we do is just another game. He shows this, but you don't understand where we are taking you. You have not understood what it means. In reality, if you ever understood this, when the very first time I showed you a picture, you would have understood the game of the religions is over. But as you are not aware of what's going on, you never understood the dimension of maturity of man, the dimension of understanding the totality, the dimension of where the fields come from, where they go, and how they interact. And when I put this in front of you, I asked myself one question. And I asked one single question. Would any of these people understand what is shared? Would any of you understand what this touch of a man on the amino acid means, which is created out of interaction on the matter of steel? And where you see this dimension, when you see this line of protein, inside it was a piece of wood. And inside and on it were papers. Could not be seen on the paper and the wood because the structure showed itself different. But on the steel, which is a different environment, it manifested itself as a protein. So in fact, it was on the paper and on the wood. Each one decided to manifest itself in a different way. Now you understand. On the wood and on the paper, you are not visible to them. On the stainless steel and the most advanced laboratories of the Chinese government, you see yourself as a protein. And then, as you see it, if you touch it, you still ask yourself a question. Is the lack of the knowledge within the soul and the physicality of the finger you see, which has brought him to ignorance? But the evidence is in front of it. Interaction of the fields with the environment and the steel. I show myself as a protein, and if you give me the right environment within this, I create you any life. Because the essence of life in a dynamic motion on this planet is connected to the protein, which we call, from the combination of the fields of the matter state, which is created by the interaction of the fields of this planet with its environment, which we call the solar system. Now you understand. When you manifest yourself in another position and time, when you go through transmutation, who and how you can be seen, and how you want to manifest yourself to be, to confirm your existence. This picture and what we show is so fundamental that if you understood how it's created, how you will be created when you go through transmutation, will give you the key to the world of creation. And the essence, understanding the emotion of the Creator. I made man in the image of myself. That image is the emotion, not the physicality. It's not even the soul of the man. because I created the man. I blew life in its existence through interaction of its fields and the emotion of me. If you knowledge seekers understand this, you'll master transmutation in no time. If you're still in the doldrum of trying to see physicality, you will be searching for the rest of your lives and generations of you to come. The essence of the creation of man, the essence of existence of man, or any being in the universe, is a condition of the fields of the environment with the interaction of the fields of the emotion of the creator, which manifests itself in that position and time. The way the interaction of your soul of physicality, or the fields of the structure of your physicality leads to the creation of laughter, tear, and the rest. Now you understand what we're teaching and why we teach the way we teach, to enlighten you to the light of the Creator. But one question stays behind that somewhere in the future I will answer, and that is, who created the emotion of the Creator? That interaction with the fields of us creates man or anything else in the dimension of anything, physicality, tangibility, and the rest. In essence, this is how, if you ever understood this, created man in different races on this planet. The emotion, the feelings of the environment, and its interaction with the soul of physicality of the man leads to creation of that man to be able to live both with the soul of physicality, the soul of the man, and the soul of the environment. And man and the scientists of man have not understood this, that this is the reason in behind what you call creation of different races. Creation of life on this planet and beyond. And in the essence of the soul of the environment, creates the man with behavior. As behavior itself is part of the emotion. Then you understand why we see different people from different parts of this planet behave collectively different than the others. Because the environment of that place and that position, in interaction with the field of the soul, of the physicality of the man, dictates not only race, but the emotion and interaction and everything else to go with it. Why in one country you call it, on one side of the hill you have men with different emotion, and one on the other side with different emotion, and collectively behave the same. We've seen that. This is why the Chinese built the wall of China, to be peaceful on one side, as the others of the same were not the same, not behaving the same, didn't have the same emotion as the rest. And then when we have what we call the soul of those who understand the emotion of Creator, we come across those who we call are or behave like God. And then we understand how we have to behave at the point of transmutation, at the point where the glue, where the essence of the creation of us, at the point, time, and place, will be interaction of the soul of us with the soul of environment and what I call the emotion of the creator. If you understand this, you can even choose in what emotion you manifest yourself and anywhere in the universe. You have to understand these things if and when you start becoming the what I call porters, the transmuters of your own energy and your own soul. Maybe you knowledge seekers understand. Is not we just made a protein. Many others have done. But the protein on this table has the essence, the emotion of the creator, the fields of interaction. And this, if you understand, creates life, which in essence is connected to the emotion of the man, and in the same way to the emotion interaction of the fields of it with its creator. And then you don't need to find the field strength of the what to go where. You'll find in what emotion you want to manifest yourself, that the position and the time and place will take you to that emotion and dimension and manifestation of physicality. Then you understand traveling in the span of unicorns is a flick of a finger. Then you don't need the UFOs, the donkey, the leg of a man, or transmutation systems. Now you understand. I hope you understand. I hope you can see why we've gone through all this rigmarole. When we produce that gas, when we produce the protein, our emotion, our thoughts is not to create this, it's to create the fields of it. But with that field, we decide what to manifest. I have asked my team to bring systems into Sanya that will baffle the world of science. Even they are not aware what will be shown. They just carry the systems. In a way, you have to understand it. In a way, you have to see it because you're a man, you're so physical that you see by believing. You don't use the sense of your soul to understand the energy transfer that you do not need to see. We use these international conferences to bring light into the knowledge and understanding of the nations. Because, as I said, the emotion of the land creates the man. And we change the emotion of the land with the knowledge, with technology, which man can understand, and with it, take away the mysticism. When we show you the production of the protein in Sanya, don't look at it as a protein. Understand what emotion I can put into it, as I am the observer, I am the egg, and this is the sperm, or this is the sperm, I'm the egg, that what I can create within it, within a cup I put on the table. Would that cup, which carries my emotion on the table, will create a fish? Would it create another being? And would it be nothing because I have not understood the soul of interaction? In Sanya, I bring you to see how man was created. If man understands his own position and time. As Muhammad said, I will never do magic. Because he saw how magic game played with Christ and with Moses. And he said, well, he says, I'll never do magic. And I said the same. We never do magic. We show you science. Muhammad didn't have the knowledge of science. We do. We created the science. And when you come to Sanya, come with a cup of yourself and put it on the table and see what is the true emotion of your transmutation of your soul with the interaction of the system and what you get in that cup. Nothing or something or a being. And don't forget, go back in the past teaching of 520 times, many times I said, with me, even in the labs of Linz, there is a bucket which I have created life in, and it goes with me everywhere. It's the same. I have blown within it the emotion of me with the presence of dimension of the fields life has created. When you come to Sanya, bring your cup, bring your own mixture, and see if your soul, the interaction of your soul with a condition of the essence of fields of creator emotion leads to creation of the life which you did. And how your cup next to another leads to creation of a new child, new life, new essence of creation. We don't do magic. We understand the science of creation. As I said a few weeks ago, we bring in a new technology. We bring in new science. And that science is the science of creation, not another electric generator, another gas production, another God knows creating gold. It's for you, the knowledge seekers, to be able to see what they are made of, what they will be, and how they transmute, and what emotion will bring them to be at the time, place, and position. So, you have to understand. Listen to the teaching of today maybe 100 times, maybe one time, but understand the essence of the teaching, and you have found your way to your creator and how you have to create, and how what you create has to be loved, nourished, and fed from the soul of the creator for it to survive. Then you understand how Mitra brought life onto this planet with the emotion of the love of the creator. She just had the physicality of the earth and the love and emotion of the man within the man himself. Now you understand the whole essence of creation. The holy books and all the books of the past have spoken with what they never understood. Today, you receive the knowledge of creation and you see the evidence of it on the table. You have to decide even how the fields which leads to creation of this protein on the table can become a child of you. With the interaction with another field, it could be from Earth or anywhere else in the universe. Man in a dimension of physicality will never be able to produce offspring because your DNA and the others' interactions will not lead, will not create that dimension. Unless man creates children of himself through the interaction of his souls with the other souls, with the other fields, that in that position, in the condition they create from the essence of the soul of the creator, leads to the generation of the new life. Now you understand when I talk about the creation of the children of Mitra, where there is no need for egg and sperm. And if you understand the universe is the womb of the creation. And in what condition? In that womb, you want to create a boy, a girl, blue eyes, 10 legs, love of the creator, and the rest. In a near time, those of you always wished for a child could never have. You tested with all the test tubes and everything else, and the answer has been no, you cannot bear a child. Understand the teaching of today, and you understand you are as fertile as the mother who gave life to tens of children. It's just that now you know a new way to create that physicality which you can hold, to love, to care and nourish. Then you understand how the knowledge of Mary being virgin, as I said, misinterpretation last time. It means the word in the language written as knowledgeable. The one who understands the knowledge, who becomes a believer in that knowledge, and that's Virgin Birth. Because now you are the creator with an interaction with the fields of the emotion of creator. You can create any being and call it your child. Created in the atmosphere of your womb will become what you call Christ. Creating the atmosphere of the love between you and your partner, it will be a child that both of you nourish, and each one of you can decide how long I'll keep it with me and how long you keep it with yourself, and how long us together we teach it to become a correct soul that it can manifest itself anywhere, any place in the universe as it receives the emotion of the feel of the creator. Now go back on the teachings of past years and put all the words and teachings. Now you understand today why and how. You always wanted a child. Create it, understand it, in the strength of the fields of the emotion of the soul, with the interaction of the field of your partner becomes the planet, and the essence of the emotion of the creator. You shall have that child. You don't need to create test tubes. You have to learn this kind and this way of reproduction as you become the child of universe, and you cannot physically interact, make love to another creature in the universe, but the essence of creating home life together is so strong that by participation, by the interaction of the two souls and the environment that the soul decides to nourish itself and the essence of the field of emotion of creator, you will have that child. It's the only way that you will reproduce in the universe. Unfortunately, most of the created things, animals of the universe, do not have the penis and vagina, and it does not exist in their structure. How are you going to make love to create that child if you do not understand the essence of the creation and how life was created from the fields of the emotion of the creator? You just create, you just make available from the field of your souls, and the dimension is yours. Then you understand, as I said, how virgin you are even after 10 children, because that virginity comes from the believing, and in belief comes understanding that you believe in it, the essence of the creation. And you can create any child. It's a child of universe. Is a child of Mitra, as Mitra is across the universe, is the love of the creator, is emotion of it wanting to share with itself to confirm its existence. As I said last week, you try to clap with one hand in the pocket. Does not happen. One hand is the emotion of the fields of the Creator, and then the other is the dimension of the soul of the man in interactions, fields with the soul of the Creator, which leads to creation of life. Then it's like that drop of water. Give it the environment, it manifests itself as ice. Give it the environment, it'll be a vapor. Give it the environment, will be a drop of water. In essence, the environment leads to creation of what is there already, which you created in interaction with the essence of the fields of its environment. If you knowledge seekers understand this, you have managed to unravel the secret of creation. And if you don't understand, you're still waiting for that generator, the gas production, and seeing something. Come to Sanya with your cups and test yourself to see what you can create. And we leave it open to all of you to test. Make sure the mixture you make is the essence of the love of you and not just the water from the tap. And does not even need to be water. Remember in one of the teachings I told you, when the Belgian government decided to test my knowledge, they asked me to give them 3 bottles. Each one had the essence of the emotion of the field, of the man, the earth, and the universe. And with it, they saw how I create fields which baffle them and create new laws in the whole structure of nuclear industry. Each bottle is the same as the cup you bring with you. All I did, I blew, I added, I put in there my emotion in that water. All 3 are the same. Come to Sanya and see the magics which you create, and we do not provide any shortcuts. Then you see truly who you are. And maybe you can ask, this is me, this is the environment of the moon, how would I look in there when I get? And we create the fields for it through the dimension of interaction of the fields of the Creator. And then you understand, do you still want to see the gas production and electric power, or a system to lift? As I said, I'm a teacher, and the classroom is the earth, and we teach from the first gaga goo to the nursery, to the professors, and to the leaders of the world. One teacher, one classroom, and this village is so small, cannot afford more than one teacher. Then you understand, we carry the whole knowledge. But with you lot, I have to speak gaga goo. And for those of you who become knowledgeable in the future, we'll talk about the straight line, blue color and red. And those of you who become more knowledgeable in the use of your soul, we teach you how to jump and how to make sentences. And then one day, when you graduate, you join the world of the creation we call the universe. I feel sorry for your knowledge seekers. You are born and you listen to knowledge which you have not been prepared for. But in time, your children, as more people understand, become a norm, and much easier for them to comprehend and to become what I call passengers of the universe. Being a passenger of universe is not going from place to place, but becoming the field, the motion of the creator, that it can affect the creation of the others when they interact. As is said in Quran, Assalamu alaikum, means you have to understand. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. We have told you everything from A to Z. It depends where you sit. The A, or you have educated yourself to reach to Z, which from the beginning to the end, without each other cannot exist, but together make the essence of life. The knowledge, the communication and explanation, and understanding of the feeling of the emotion of the creator. I hope I gave you a beautiful gift, and I hope you understand the gift. Otherwise, it will be the same as the lesson 1, 21, 201, 221, and 520. Any of you could have been enlightened at any point. It's just what you've been looking for. We see and we explain more and more that you as knowledge seekers understand yourself and nothing else. And who you are, what you are, how you have to be, and what you want to become. Now, the true cup of life comes with you in Sanya. We gave the cup of life to the Chinese with COVID. Now, our Chinese friend, bring your cups and see what life you can create out of emotion of your souls. Thank you very much, Rick. And we'll go for a small break and we come back.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Keshe. Thank you very much. Okay, this is the 522nd Knowledge Seekers Workshop here on Thursday, January 25th, 2024. And as Mr. Keshe says, we'll take a short break and be back. In the second part of the show, we'll have the opportunity to ask questions of Mr. Keshe. So our attendees here can put up their virtual hands if they wish and ask a question personally, or you can put it in the chat or preferably in the Q&A in our Zoom here or in the YouTube chats.
The revolutionary new Flight Enhancement Spaceship unit is due to be launched in June 2022, and in the same year is expected to fly passengers into space, to the moon and beyond for a day or even several days at a time. There is no need for the Flight Enhancement Spaceship unit to carry food or medicine, as it is equipped with the latest space technology for transportation, transmutation and deep space operation. This extraordinary breakthrough technology ushers in a new era of travel without the need of fuel, food or medicine, even during the longest excursions into deep space. Each spaceship unit has a 4-passenger capacity for long or short duration flights and has the capability to travel between cities on Earth in a matter of seconds to minutes, depending on the distance and speed. This ability to traverse massive distance in such incredibly short time is not just a breakthrough for human transport, it also completely revolutionizes the transportation of goods and cargo and will rapidly overcome the need for one of our most polluting practices, namely marine shipping, as it finally breaks us free not only from the combustion of heavy diesel, but from the combustion of any fuel for propulsion in the future. The Flight Enhancement Spaceship Unit, a new paradigm in space travel, space medicine, and space technology.
Okay, thanks everyone. We're back again at the 522nd Knowledge Seekers Workshop here. And Mr. Keshe, are you ready to begin the second part of our show here?
Yes. Why not?
Okay.
Can I make a couple of announcements?
Sure.
As usual. We used to make the announcements at the beginning, so now we do it in the middle, which is much easier. First of all, the third conference in China is now fixed for 16, 17, 18, and 19th of March in the island of Sanya, which a lot of you, some 58 nations, don't need a visa to come in. And so we can stay 30 days, so we can stay 90 days in the island. It's one of the most beautiful places on this planet. If you don't waste your time just looking at the city, go and see the beaches on the island inside. It's where most of the seeds of the food and research in health is done by the Chinese government. It's a bedrock of the science and technology and has facilities that none has seen in the world. Most of the evolution within kilometers from Sanya city, the research centers, and then you have the big laboratories, which the licensing is totally different than the rest of the world, and they can test the latest diseases, inventions in medicine in this island. It was given a special license to be able to do this, and it is one of the reasons that Keshe Foundation Corporation in China will have a center in this area. It's full of scientists, those who have endeavored to go to the next step and are open-minded to develop new technologies. The elite of the sciences of the Chinese in certain sectors are in this area. The conference will be from 9 to 6 or 4 days. And as I said, we bring to show the evolution in science. Our team will come equipped to show this. Do not come to see, you see part of what you've seen in London and Manchester.
but you'll see things which never shown before, never been there, and it'll break the new science and technology. But be aware that we target, our aim is the conference in Tehran for transmutation and manifestation of the creation. Once we finish with China, we start negotiation with the Iranian government to hold this conference in Tehran. And then hopefully by the fall in September, we negotiate with the American government to show this, maybe in NASA, maybe in Florida. In a way, I chose NASA, what we call in the Bahamas Island, for a specific reason. There we will show the creation of life from the oceans of the universe. And NASA has been a playground for me for decades. And we go back, NASA, to show you how life has come from the seas to the land and to life that we know it. It's one of my favorite places, and some of the most beautiful memories of my younghood and adulthood comes from Bahama and Nassau. And then you will see what is called the Paradise Island. It is the true paradise. So step by step, we go from island to island, and we show how creation shall be. One point which you have to remember, if you're coming to China, to Sanya, come with a clean soul. Because if we give you the cup, you manifest yourself in a dimension of what, who, and the way your soul interacts and will interact. The cup of life given to the Chinese as a savior during COVID now becomes a true cup of life for the nation. We'll take this system across the planet when we travel. And we ask the world leaders to bring their cups for them and for you to see the true soul within that physicality. And I wonder how many world leaders will attend and even touch the cup. We'll put this cup to Ayatollah Khamenei of Iran to put to place. We put this to Pope in the Vatican and to the other world leaders. And then we, in essence, understand the true essence of the man. And then you understand the true game of peace has started, where the soul of those who claim to be the leaders and the peaceful men will manifest himself in the color of their soul in their cups. And then you understand. When in Arabic they say Ashhadu, what it means. I swear to my soul, I be the true me and nothing else. I swear to the truth of who I am. And then you understand when I told you the true game, the reason we started the teaching and the creation of Keshe Foundation was done so. I hope those of you who come from China, you bring the best potteries of China and come with a clear glass that you cannot hide in the clay of the nation, the true emotion of you. Then we teach you how to create children of it. Yesterday, when we turned on the first systems to lead to creation of this life, I stood by the system. And I prayed for it as I always do. Let it be the system of peace. Let it be that the field of this bring the knowledge of creation to man. And we shall see. It's an amazing system. It can create life in any dimension. And it keeps in essence in its center the rays of the creation of the field of the emotion of the creator. And how it communicates with every position, direction and dimension. I hope you're that lucky to be in Sanya, to see the beginning of the new dimension of science and technology which man never knew, and it'll be the beginning of the change. We invite the Chinese military leaders and scientists to join, to come in and to test themselves and to understand. And then it's for the others, nation by nation, to add their flavors to it. The Keshe Foundation team has posted how you can come to Sanya, come with a pure heart and no hate, no resentment, and no racism. And then see if truly is you in your own cup. Is cup of your life, and then you have to understand it. Thank you very much, and I hope you will see in a very near future what all this teaching was about. Was not to make gases and electricity, was to show you the energies which leads and how things manifest themselves according to the environment they're in, and how you will become that gas, that energy, when you come into dimensional fields of another position in space and time, and how you interact with the soul of the creator to manifest yourself in and through that field to physicality which you desire. We see how things will change, and as I said, we put all the world leaders to test, and the system for it has been switched on yesterday, and it will manifest itself across this planet step by step. And then it'll come to the point when you choose a world leader, most probably for American election, the American nation will ask your leaders to come with their cup, that they can see the true leader, irrespective of his words. We know the color when we see the cup. It's a cup of life of a man, cup of the soul of the man in interaction with his creator, and never changes once takes shape. And no one can lie. Then we see the true leaders who will become the leaders of this planet, always shall stand this test. Then you understand why we call for a universal council to be chosen by the soul of the man and not the man, and how the universal councils will be cleared themselves through the same. And now you understand how the two processes will link up and how it will link you up to the system. The new system developed and switched on yesterday has two dimensions of the reaction. One to the soul of the creation, and one connection to the soul of the universe and universe. Specifically designed for these two. The rest comes out of interaction of your soul and the interaction with the emotion of the creator. I hope you will not be disappointed. And I hope you'll see how you can, you should, and you will create the children of Mitra. Thank you very much, Rick. And we leave it to you to come and test yourself in Sanya. The next time we show this system will be in Tehran, and the Iranian leadership to come with their cup of life. And then we understand the true man of religion, the true man of nations. And we take it to Washington and we ask the presidents of the United States to sign themselves to the cup. Then we all understand where we are going. Rick, is there any questions we answer?
Oh yes, lots of questions, Mr. Keshe. So you mentioned today the origin is constant in emotion. I thought that was an interesting idea. Maybe you can explore that a bit, and perhaps we can combine that with...
idea is not an idea, it's the truth. God, our creator, cannot have an anger emotion tomorrow or laughter the day after. You understand? Because we interact with it. It's constant and is a giver. It's man who changes emotion. Its continuity and its consistency has led to the creation of the universe. The diversity comes from the interaction of the soul or the fields which have created that soul in that dimension. That's all. It never changes. It has never changed from day one. The only way we could put it is how Mitra knew, in knowing the emotion of the creator, played with it to lead, to show the love to him, to confirm his own existence through himself. But it comes to another point that maybe you understood as part of the teaching of today, is it cannot be on its own if there was nothing to show. Is Mitra interaction of the parallel unicause to ours, that the interaction leads to the emission of what we call the love or the Mitra? Or has the interaction of the field of itself has led to the soul dimension, which is in line, in parallel, but triggers the emotion of love? And then this is for us to answer in the future. So, never changes. Always has been a giver, and in interaction with it, a lover, which is a habit of the lovers and the givers. Any questions? Or you want to extend your question?
Well, that was very interesting. I thought maybe it could somehow combine with the question that was carried over from last week from YouTube, from Dot, who says, how can I know when my soul is talking to me?
Well, you should have his, as I said just before the teaching, do you have his telephone number? He can only talk to you if he's connected to you. In the coming weeks, and through the test to come up, a lot of you will find your path to it. By the way, before I forget, we announced that the 6 sessions of every month, the 3rd week, in March we'll move to the 29th, not 22nd, because we are still in Sanya. A lot of knowledge seekers are traveling. So the 3rd of the 6 sessions, instead of Friday 22nd has been announced, will move to 29th. And at the same time, another thing which I forgot to tell you, we finish on Tuesday the 19th. Wednesday, the 20th, is the celebration of Iranian New Year. And we celebrate in Sanya the Iranian New Year with those of you who want to be with us. But You cannot separate things. You cannot bring things into dimension if they don't exist, unless you know how to mix it to let it to be created. And this question of how to contact, as you create it, as you're created out of it, you already know. In the world of science of today, you call it isotopes with different strength. In the dimension of the plasma, work on the strength of the field. And as you have seen, as you observe every day and night, when you look into the skies, you see billions of stars. If they were of the same, you will not, or you will see them as one. You see separate because each one has one isotope strength of the fields of the universe and creation. And so you understand how it works to the subdivision, and then you create one, and then it becomes more of the division of the subdivision and in different strength. And in that process, you always through, because you're connected, know the connection, you know what it is. In the dimension of the new reactors, new technologies, which for the first time has gone into test, and then you're going to operation in the coming weeks, and we'll show it for the first time in Sanya. You not only connect to the dimension of your soul, but you connect to the dimension of universe. This is a technology never known by man, unknown at all. It is not something you can do and we know it, this and that. We have brought the knowledge of creation of it to physicality, that you can understand it, that you then can control it, then you can communicate through it, then you can create that condition of life. Then it's very easy. You don't dilate. You create the field of emotion of it. And you'll get there. Something which is very interesting is, I put this to you as a reality, but with a tint of, what do you call it, joy, and in a way wisdom, if you understand it, and in a way of a little bit of joking if you understand what this means. In the teaching of today, in past few minutes, we told you, and all of you in the past days, 24 hours, whatever, you had a dream. In your dream, you're in Tehran, you went to Los Angeles, you went to New York. You're living in New York in your dreams, you went to South Africa, or you went to Australia. Have you ever asked yourself one question? Did anybody ask you for a passport? Did anybody tell you, sorry, you don't have a passport, you cannot come through your soul to Australia or South Africa or Tehran or New York? And the most important thing of this is, who gave you the number to go there? Who invited you? Or, as you know, like certain countries, they put a filter, certain things cannot be done, we are banned because you don't understand it, we don't want problems. Has the universal community has put a ban on the emotion of the travel of the soul of the man into space, for you to dream, or to you to travel through your soul to other positions of the universe and understanding, and you know, as you know, you're in New York or in South Africa, you know where you are and you can go to. Or through the system that many of you went into lens, we have opened that door that you could go to the moon, you can go to anywhere, any ocean, anywhere in the universe, fly the way you want, and come back. So it comes to, have you understood the knowledge, or you're just copycatting? And you will understand, a lot of you will go through this and gradually become knowledgeable. I was explaining this last day or so to one of our knowledge seekers. When in a position of my private life, they were explaining things, or they were telling me things about interaction or a condition of a person. I don't listen. I'm physically there. I see the emotion on the face. I see the emotion of the soul. I'm present in that conversation at that place and time. It's the same thing as I told many times. I go inside the atom, I go inside the reactor, I see everything. It's not something that I don't, something I think. I see how molecules expand, how atoms interact. And it's the same in the physical life. Where I am emotionally involved, I am present. And I see. Even in my physical life, I know after that conversation, they don't know I'm there in a manifestation. I know they're lying to me because I heard the truth, I've seen the soul. I feel the cup of water they drink. I feel the air they inhale. I see the interaction. But out of the wisdom, I keep quiet. When you travel with the dimension of the soul, you get this. If you're in Tehran and your mother is in New York and having a conversation with your sister, and they call you, you'll be there with them sitting. You see their emotion, you feel their laughter. You see, they say, oh, it's so sunny here, it's actually raining. And say, come on, guys, I can see it is raining. What are you lying to me? But you're not here. But I'm here through my soul. I can see, I can feel, I'm part of you. This is to the level you have to reach. Then you understand how you dial that number. It's a number of your soul, your emotion, your creation. And when you do this, it's not just seeing, you feel the physical emotion. Your mother is in pain, you're hiding it from you. She's limping, says, I'm so good. I went for a long walk. Mom, you're limping with a stick. I'm with you. I see you. And then you understand the new process of understanding transmutation and transmutation. Those of you who wish to see the Christ, truly bring your cup with you to Sanya and see if you can manifest, if you can bring through emotion of your true essence, the emotion of the soul of Christ, bless his name. And then we understand what is the truth. It's not a challenge. It's for you to understand yourself and don't challenge yourself. Try to understand what needs to be done to get to that point. Then you dial the number of Christ and see if he responds in front of the system inside you. Then we understand. Maybe we all be present to it. And maybe a lot of you come with a lot of cups and you see nothing because you come with a tinted soul, dimension, interaction of the fields. The truth. Then polish it till Tehran, understand it, and then we see what happens. With this system which now is developed, I put the world leaders to challenge, to create peace. And then you know who is true man of peace. Be it from Ayatollah Khamenei of Iran, the rulers of the Vatican, and the religious leaders and the world leaders. This become the scale standard for humanity. We don't touch, we don't do. It's you and your own soul and the truth about this. Nobody interferes with it. Any other question?
Okay, thank you. You talked previously about this idea of a parallel world, a parallel universe, perhaps. There's a question that came up with Malcolm in the YouTube.
I don't believe in parallel universe. Possibly has to be that the interaction creates something. But the parallel universe, the way it's put, depends what you understand of it, is not the same as us.
Okay. But Malcolm talked about...
a cup of tea. I can give you a nice cup of tea if you can taste it.
Okay. I'm having some tea here, but mine's green tea. I'm not sure what you're drinking.
It's a nice Earl Grey tea from India.
Okay, I had
Very
Earl
dark.
Grey earlier today, actually. double bergamot.
But the thing is, did you come here to feel the emotion of it, to taste it? It's very interesting how these things will change our lives. You know, one of the cornerstone of the time of Kurosh, what we call the prophet, was and is still in the dimension of Zoroastrian truth, Zoroastrian's lies. The biggest crime in time of Zoroaster and even Kurosh was to lie. Because lies created problems, wars, and a lot of other conflicts. And there was no crime bigger than lying. And if you understand the emotion that creates, then you understand why it was forbidden, why it's forbidden. It's a stealing. And those who make everything somebody says to them to a lie because then it justifies their action, find out it comes to bite them themselves, as we say. And then if you understand the soul of this, then you understand how things work. And there is a lot of, what do you call, essence of interaction of the souls which come from this notion. And if you understand the true history of time and religions and whatever names they put on themselves, comes from this point, not to lie to your people. But all the holy books are made out of the lies where it was supposed to be no lie. And it's all believed in it. And even if the man who's a top man or the prophet says himself, such a thing will not happen because there cannot be no lies. They've written in the book and connected to him to become the truth, and then they all believe in the lie which he said, I never do lies. Example of this is by Muhammad, bless his name. In many verses in Quran, he says, I shall never do magic. You will never see magic from me. Because he saw how the followers of Christ and Moses, whatever, used magic to show his power, or their power. And Muhammad made sure this doesn't happen, and is very strict, written in Quran. But interesting thing is, they connect the biggest lie to the biggest magic, which Muhammad says, I never do magic. I always said the same. We don't do any magic. You have to understand the science. And half of Quran's belief, Muslim, doesn't matter what, goes on this lie, which Muhammad said he'll never do. So it's a lie. We know it's a lie, whatever they say. And this is one of the criterion which now puts the Keshe Foundation head on with the Islamic world. Muhammad bin Hussein said, I never do magic. Never, nothing never be done. And then in another part of Quran, which is a cornerstone of present Saudi Shia, they encourage it a lot, is Shaq al-Qamar, cutting off the moon into half. Which Muhammad promised, I'd never do magic. And that is a magic. That's what it was supposed to be, that he can do these things. And according to the time and place, if such a thing was done, as it's in Quran, such a big event, the rest of the humanity should have seen it. Somebody in London, somebody, Bedouins in part of Saudi Arabia, the rich people of Europe, somebody should have seen this moon cut in half. It should have had an effect on us. So you can see how lies has become against what the Prophet who they believe in is. They made a lie and connected to the Prophet, and they want to accept that lie. Where, even if you read Quran, historically, time and the place, they connect people who were present in that Shaq al-Qamar. Because the story behind Shaq al-Qamar is that some people got together and went to Muhammad in a full moon, and they said to him, show us some magic, then we believe in you. If you show us this magic. And Muhammad said, okay, there's a full moon, cut the moon to half. And they said, Muhammad did it for us to become his believer. And they give you a name of the list of the people who were there. But when you go into the history book of the people, some of those people, 2 or 3 of them, were not even born at that time of Muhammad. There, and they ask him to show us. And you understand, we don't understand the history, and then we attach to it. And this is one of the reasons when I start the talks, even with as I repeated many times, with the Saudis, Jihad University, was this. And then one person who was in a meeting with Muhammad said, you can see half of the moon, and the Shaq al-Qamar will come only when it comes the end of the world in heaven. Not now. It will not happen today. And then there's another couple of words after, which tells you this thing, Shaq al-Qamar, will happen in heaven. But they don't tell you that part of it. They say this is connected to Muhammad. Muhammad has done this. They don't tell you, they don't read the whole story. They tell you one half. And because most of these mullahs of that time and even today are so illiterate that they don't connect the word after. Yes, we go to the park and then we have an ice cream. So we went to the park. We don't tell you there's an ice cream. Or we have an ice cream when we go to the park. Okay, where is the ice cream? But you haven't gone to the park to get it yet. The Shaq al-Qamar will happen according to Muhammad, according to what's in Quran. But in heaven is not sign of Islam. And these lies will now has to open up. As I said last week and the week before, I opened the book of religions. Then you understand the true understanding is the faith of God, the Creator, not these mayhem of books and lies. Then you have to understand the next step. When you're so clear, the same with your soul and yourself, when you travel the span of universe, your soul is clear. Your soul doesn't lie, your physicality wants to lie. You put yourself on the nose in the space. I like to eat you. Oh, but because I know I can take fields from anybody in the universe, I never even think of eating you, that you take energy from me to defend yourself, or you take energy from somewhere else to protect yourself and create another mayhem. And the reason all this mayhem we have, even today's war in Palestine between the Jews and whatever, is part of this. We have split the hair, and we talk about which hair is the main hair. And now we get more and more cutting this hair to more pieces, and then we call it divisions of religion. But if you look at the end of the hair, it ends up in the same place. It's the same hair. Your tipping is just, you have a split hair. This is the job of the religions nowadays. Which one of us is the biggest, so we have more. But we are all fake because that hair doesn't even exist the way we built it. Then you understand the teachings, the process behind the teachings. And why the teaching is about you and your soul. Not about me, not about the systems I make, not about anything else. It's how through the knowledge and the system, you found the truth, the essence of reality about yourself. And you don't need no prophet, no holy books, and nothing else, because it's you and your creator. And what? And the condition you have created yourself out. We start putting these together in technologies and science that you understand. And then gradually over coming time, you will see how we open that door to universal community. Because if one man withers and creates a problem, this can create a bigger problem for us in the future, because we are responsible for taking you into the universal community to understand your soul. Then the vision of lying or killing has to die within a man, and this is one of the cornerstones of mentoring of the man into a universal community. And this, with technologies we bring, you assess yourself, because some of you will come with a cup of your life, and you put it there, and you wish for a fish, but you get a monkey in the cup. Then you understand you haven't understood your soul. Go back and learn where you lied to yourself. Was it that originally your soul wanted a monkey and you lied to yourself? When you wish a monkey and you get a monkey, then you understand you are on the path. Then, first of all, you don't lie between you, your soul, and the soul of the physicality of you, and a dimension of interaction with the fields of the emotion of the Creator. And then you understand, nobody knows, and you don't need to tell no one, I wish for a fish, I got a monkey. Then you know you have not reached the essence of the truth, not lying to yourself. And when you learn this, it becomes a path of life. And many of you come with a cup and you don't see anything in it. You might see some protein on top of it. It means you haven't learned how to transmute to physicality. Then you have to teach yourself, mind, where the correction has to be. But don't read the books, understand within.
Hello, Mr. Keshe. I think we lost the connection there.
Hello?
Yes, hi.
I can hear you if you can't hear me.
Yeah, you were breaking up a bit before we lost you. Just the last sentence or so. The audio was breaking up a little bit before that, and then we just lost you totally for about the last 5 or 10 seconds.
Yeah, what I said, when you bring your cups to Sanya, and you wish to see a fish, and you get a monkey, that's not the fault of the system. It means you have not been truthful to your own physicality and dimension of the observation of physical life. Because your soul wished for a monkey and got a monkey. Your physicality was looking for a fish for something else, which was not truthful to your soul. So you didn't get your fish. This is not a fault of the system. It's you who have not been truthful with your soul and soul of physicality. These are not the cup of judgment. These are the cups for you to understand yourself, to perfect yourself. There are no judges. There is no day of judgment. It's for you to be enlightened, to understand the life of the universe. And when you get to this point, then you find your way into the universal community in a very easy way. And we are not testing you if you can go or not. It's for you to test yourself that you become a perfect being in the school of being of the Creator. That's all. As I said to one of knowledge seekers in the past few hours, we are not here to make money. Otherwise, we could have made a lot and make a lot. We suffer, we go through it, we go step by step as the man goes. But as said in the holy books, give us daily bread. And our daily bread in the foundation comes. We will not stop, because every day our soul is clear what is to come, what is to be done, and the bread is provided. And that's why we are here in past 20 years. We don't go to target to become billionaires. We could have become billionaires, we're being billionaires. They said, what's the best way to make a millionaire to a, what do you call it, a poor man? Make him a farmer. And this is the same. You give and you give. And this is how you should be. We are just bringing you systems for you to test yourselves. And how you manifest yourself when you understand it in the position which you manifest. Then you understand when I told you I'll bring you a drop and there'll be a fish in the cup. Now you understand how. Because it's my wish. And that drop carries my soul, and interaction with the protein which is created by the system will manifest the fish, because our wish is sincere, it's not tainted. Then you will understand. Any other question?
All right, we have a number of questions from the Brazilian community. Let's start out with one from Cristiano here. It says, good morning, Mr. Keshe. You told us that at the time of Jesus Christ, he passed on the knowledge through women. But how did he try to pass on the knowledge to elevate the souls of the people? He tried to pass on something related to the plasma science. He talked about the existence of the soul of the man, or the soul of the physicality, in a language of the time. Why would he have failed in his mission to pass on this knowledge that you are opening today?
He never failed. Man failed to pass it on. Let me explain to you when you say give knowledge to women. He gave an indication of what you call Mary the Virgin. Yeah? Virgin birth. Where I explained to you in Torah and in beginning of the word, it means the believer. And the mother was a believer in the Creator, in God. A true Jew. But in a different way of believing Judaism than what was at the time. I said this a few times, and I don't know if I have explained it here too. What I feel ashamed, absolutely ashamed as a Iranian, is that our women have been put under Islam and devalued, degraded. Before Islam, our women were worshipped, respected beyond, and it's today in the structure of the life of Celestials. The female, the mother, is the holiest of all. Even if you read the story of Kurosh and Dariush and before, women were respected beyond in the society, in the Persian society. We devalued our women to make them half by the rule of Islam. Why? Because Islam, to keep the life of women, killed all the men and gave women to live. We give you a life, but you're half of us, otherwise we had you. Because the mothers were light of the knowledge to the family, to the society. And biggest shame for me as an Iranian is to call myself a Muslim because of what has happened to our women, to the mothers. And then we go back into Christianity. We go back to Judaism. Go back to the Judaism. When supposedly Moses, Jehovah, conquered a village, he killed everything, man, woman, child, animal. With Christ coming from the same mentality, with putting that the women are knowledgeable, he brought a halt to killing of women. Because he realized without them there is no generation. But at the same time, 500 years, 700 years before even Christ, in Iran, we worshipped, we respected our women. And we have devalued our nation, our culture to become Muslim. And we have let our women down. Because this is what the Christ said, the true believer, because they create, the child comes from the womb of the mother. They have that love. They understand the love of the Creator. They are knowledgeable. And we don't value that. For that reason, I always said, if you've been around me, even before I started Keshe Foundation, I always said, the next soul which will lead us will be soul of a woman. And this is why we created the child of Mitra. Because you have to understand, man does not create, a woman creates, and understand the love she gives. She cannot touch the child inside, but through her heart transfers that love of the mother to the child, that in that interaction, the child takes shape, becomes what it is. If you touch the emotion of the mother, if the mother is tortured, abused during the pregnancy, you see that emotion, how it changes. You get a handicapped child with problem when they're born. Then you understand why God, the Creator, has one emotion. You see beautiful children, you see calm children, you see children born with absolute joy. Look at the time when the mother was pregnant, what love was transferred. There wasn't an injection of love. It's the emotion of love. It's the emotion of the Creator, the love of the child. And as Iranian, we have dishonored, we have dismantled the essence of the creation by becoming Muslims. By first thing first, devaluing our women, our creators, to half. For what reason? Because we came across a bunch of people where with Muhammad only beheaded men. He didn't behead children, the women. Read in all the wars, Muhammad headed. He always, at the end when there was a victory, in all the wars, he said to separate the man. They took the man to one side and beheaded them, and they said to the women, now you are a slave and you are wives. How can a woman who loved the man who he beheaded now has to become your wife and love you? In Iran history, men gave their life for the mothers to be alive. And in Islamic religion, opposite. And in Judaism, forget about it. And then you understand why we have to understand what culture we want our soul to be created in. Read the whole history of Islam. Read the time when Muhammad went conquering and he won the villages. he beheaded men altogether, and women became slaves and abused by the new men. The men of the Islamic world didn't go to war to expand Islam. They went to war to see how many women they can get. And in many, many books, even the Quran refers to it. The woman says, you killed my brother, you killed my father, you killed my husband, and now you want me to love you and to be my husband? For you not to behead me and put me into prostitution? I say yes, but this cannot be, because then I'm lying to myself. And then you understand why we bring an end to religions, because only has been a profit, money making, not profit to bring a message. The way you stand, the way it is. You read about the history of Iran 600 years before Christ, when Kurosh used to be. Kurosh, when he conquered the countries as an expansion, even Babylon, and where all the Jews were sent, exiled, and the rest of the pharaohs. When the ruler's tradition was you kill the king and you take all. Even Kurosh time, when he took Babylon, he brought the queen of the nation and gave her, she said, I'm yours. He said, no, you're not mine. You have a husband. You have life. He gave her the same position as a queen. And when the king accepted submission to come, went to Kurosh to accept that he lost the war, Kurosh said, first send him to his wife. Let him have peace that we have not done anything wrong. And when the ruler went to his wife and saw her in such a comfort and respect, she explained everything. I offered myself to Kurosh. He said, no. He said, you're not mine. I came to bring peace to your nation. I haven't come here to conquer women. Then the ruler came to Kurosh. He said, I'm yours because you're a true man. Kurosh is the only king who had only one wife from the beginning to the end in his life. Even though he had access to the most beautiful women in the world of his kingdom. And you have to understand, when you read the Bible, because the Bible was written by order of Kurosh, in the book, in the Bible, Jews believe he's a Messiah. And many times they mention his name in Torah. Because he lived by the rule. He respected his wife. Because it's the culture. And when a wife becomes an abuser, it's her decision to go. Read about the life of Kurosh and how he became a king. And he is actually the true prophet. But he never accepted that position of prophets. And that's why he called the Shah, which in that name means the prophet. Then you understand how we should live. If man lives the true life of Zoroaster and the true essence of the Kurosh, there'll be no wars, because we respect, to start with, our own creators, our women. And this has been taken out of the culture of Iran by Islam. We have sold our women to half, where they were equal to us and above all of us as our creator. Any questions?
Okay, we'll continue with questions from the Brazilian community. From Pamela. If the soul of the physicality is fundamental to the process of transmutation and travel to the creator, then I am understanding that the physical dimension is somehow essential for the learning of emotions. My question
Yeah,
is,
it's your sandbag, isn't it? You're playing the sandbox when you play computers, you want to write a new program. Physicality on Earth and how it is and how it behaves is your sandbox. You're testing it that if you get it right in the other side, you don't make a mistake.
okay, this her further question relates to that, and you've talked about this before of the perfect soul and so on. So her question is, when a soul is created in the plasma dimension, how will the soul of the physicality be born, since it won't come through the physical dimension after the interaction of the egg and the sperm? Will the soul of the physicality come into existence through the knowledge acquired by the souls of its creators? Could you talk a bit more about this?
Soul of physicality in a larger scale is Mitra, where its interaction with the environment creates a physical dimension. And with the interaction with the soul of the man gives the field which allows to interact with the environment. And in essence, it's the point of reference for us. If you look at, we always know the teachings, and I've explained this many times. We always say when the soul of physicality is in charge, it creates a physical life and embeds the soul inside. So when the soul expands and brings the soul of physicality into itself, there is no interaction for the creation of the physicality. But you have to understand, in that point, the soul of the man has to interact with a higher order dimension, which is the universal field. That's how you travel across the universe. This is why embedded in this physicality of the man, the amino acid, the carbon-12, for the soul of physicality to allow the soul of the man to connect with the universal community, it only needs to jump to carbon-14. Not in the matter state, but in the energy state, in the plasmatic field state. And this is what our technology, the system does. We allow that carbon-14 bandwidth strength to be created. So it expands to the new dimension. It finds the soul of physicality inside it. It's so simple. This is how you travel on a cosmic rays. Cosmic rays, in essence, are a combination of the isotopes of carbon-14. And if you understand how to cross universes, you bring a combination of carbon-12 to carbon-60, which allows you to cross universes. This is a technology which I'll explain in the future. So it's very easy. You have to understand that the technologies we create is not magic. It's just you don't understand it till it looks magic. You actually been to the moon, but you never knew how. The way we build our system, it continuously produces, releases, controls carbon-14, which allows you to expand the soul because it's an energy level of carbon-14, common denominator, with the essence of the line of the fields of the universe and the creator, emotion, then you'll go. And then up to now you didn't understand, now you understand. It's the same mystery as how Tesla used to run a car with energy in New York, but the power supply was in Moscow. Because you haven't understood. And it's the same. Once we expand the soul of the man to the dimension of the system, it surpasses soul of physicality. So now there cannot be a physical life. But once the soul of man expands beyond the soul of physicality, it still has to interact with the strength of its own dimension with the universal community, universal transportation system. That's how you travel. We're not doing magic. We are the creator. We understand the process of creation and its communication. That's all. And in time, it will become a second nature to all of us. And in time, it's part of us because we dream every night, we let the soul go. How does our system allows for itself to travel and go beyond? And you go with a full physical body, you see yourself cuddling your lover, you have a wet dreams, you have a fight with your grandmother, you steal somebody runs to you. Well, how do you take that physicality with you? How do you know it's you? Now you understand. There is a science, and the job of the Keshe Foundation is to teach you the science. Then there is no magic. It's a very interesting thing if you watch, if you're a British or you go on the internet and watch the programs which are coming out on what I call Britain's Got Talent. In 2023, they've shown somebody called Magics, where there is nothing, appears a child on the chair, or the guy creates the snakes and then disappears them, and he actually picks up the child. But you have to understand the magic behind it, the science that they create these visions. But with our technology, there is no such a thing. The only magician is you, and the only magic is on you by yourself. Understand the science. And I am the worst magician because I show all the tricks. And I make the system and I show you how the tricks are done. The biggest trick that you all missed, and it makes me every day, it's not the day that I say, God knows when this man moves, is the maggraph systems. I gave you the essence of transmutation, which is expansion of your soul. Many times in the teaching, I keep on telling you, you look for that little bit of electricity, go on top of the system and see the fields it creates that allows your soul to evolve. And you're still, oh, it doesn't work. He said he does 30% reduction. You lost 40% of your soul by not understanding. Be a prisoner of man, shackled to the earth. This is the difference. This is where the difference comes. Understanding, and not just hallucinating or, what do you call it, being uneducated. One of the beautiful things with technology is that there are many women around the Keshe Foundation. A lot of women. Because it goes back to Christ, bless his name. They are the true believers. They understand the process of creation because they are creators. All our men are busy with making magraphs. All our women try to understand the soul of the technology. And that's where it is. I bring women to be respected the way was the time of Kurash, the way the creator created loving the Mitra. And for it, we have created the soul of Mitra in the child of Mitra. You soon will understand what the game is about. This is the only way man will be peaceful in the universe. Because as a soul, he'll be still alone and trying to find out a partner, what we call twin soul, will do the crimes man has done for women and love on this planet. And that shall not be. Because the love is there from the point of inception. You never look for it because it's part of you, created out of it. Any other question?
Okay, from
We
Claudia.
have to finish. We have to finish in the next 15, 20 minutes because I have a long journey to take. Okay, please.
From Claudia, who says, Mr. Keshe, when we have a mutation in our RNA to react against some entity that enters into our body, such as bacteria, which has its own emotion, this change is unconscious to maintain our body alive. But when we want to transmute to another environment through our conscious emotions, this occurs in the same way. So the only way to transmute must have a big purpose, that is teaching the knowledge of the creator to maintain the creation.
In the transmutation, the soul of the man always stays in the dimension. So we pick up viruses through transmutation, without a doubt. We'll come across other energy packs. That's how we know of their existence, and that's how we fall in love with another virus. We become soulmate, and we create children of the soul with them. Anything which is not at the strength of our soul is a virus to our soul. But we have to understand and change that point to a love, to a care, to become, to be part of. In a way, if you look at the structure of physicality of the man, is made by this principle. You want to be with me, okay, but we have some surplus. What we're going to do, maybe we won't get this energy. Okay, we make the liver. We made the liver. We leave our energies that anybody needs, call in and take up that nobody robs the other one. It's at a store. It's a national reserve, we call it. You're short of rice in one department, send we give you. You want short of vitamin C, liver is kept. Haven't we made that? We all have a lot of bits we don't want and nobody else wants, but others outside the body might need it. We created the urine and the other bits, and then we make it food and water it. We have a bit which we all need to decide, we work together, otherwise we'll misfunction. We put one division to be in charge of this part of the kidney to communicate with the brain. Liver puts a section to communicate with the brain, and the cancer does that. It tells which vitamins to keep, which one to keep, and then, okay, you don't want it in a storage, send it here. We get rid of it through the kidney. It's the same. This is called RNA operation, a military regime with a full control of the principle. Understanding which energies are needed, which energies are not needed. Don't we do this in our lives? We work in an office, but you're a member of a club of runners, and then you're a member of the chess club somewhere else, and then you're a member of the marriage in a family with the children, and then you're a member of such a thing, but all function because you as a center brain control it, where you would take your energy to spend. You go to the club, where you're going to give the energy to love, you call it home, and a wife and a child, and when there is something else. Don't we do this? We just become oblivious to it. But it's the same structure across. Has the gym you go to share or give your energy out that something else picks it up, has become a virus to your life? Yes, it's become a virus to the wife because you're not home to love her more, you're spending some time in the gym. But she accepts that virus because you look good for it when you come home. This is how we are. We interact. A virus, the way we showed even in the COVID, can be used as an energy for the man. That's why you lot recovered so fast with the cup one when you had the virus. You took the energy of the virus itself and you changed it to food for your body. How you interact with it. You don't destroy it. The COVID is with you. Those of you who went through cup one and had a COVID and you used it, you will see the benefit of it in the coming time. Because now you haven't destroyed it. It's part of
you. You already have it. Next time, come on, it's a new diversion. I'll take you, but you won't touch me that much. It's a asset in your pocket of genes or energy packs, you call it the virus. We have to understand the science, and then we understand the technology. And we understand the technology of the creation. The DNA, RNA is all made for man to become real. There's a big mayhem at the moment in the world of medicine, and wherever you go on the internet, you see it. Harvard University has called some tens of papers out because they're all fraudulent. And the head of medical school of Harvard has resigned because of it. And they've been doing this for 20 years, and they forced a lot of people to change their mind because of these lies. And now the ones who accepted it, the effect of these papers in past 20 years, which was forced by Harvard, has done it, is going to be massive in a lot of medicines, which is faked. And that's why we see a lot of medicines since early 21st century have a lot of problems, a lot of diseases, a lot of pharmaceuticals companies going bankrupt because they couldn't support it, because they worked on a fake paper originally adjusted to suit the money providers. And this is the way it will not happen in the world of your life, with your soul, understanding the energies and viruses. Then you call it RNA and DNA or whatever you want to call it. This situation, how some very expensive medicine was backed on the back of this, and they didn't come up, the research did not bring the money, hundreds of millions was lost by pharmaceuticals, is because they relied on a few papers which was based on the lies which was made up to make somebody famous. Read about Harvard University, what's happening. It's a mayhem in there at the moment with the fake papers, and the same people became peer reviewers to cover their own, problems and lies. When I started reading about this a few days ago, it just brought back the memory of Stephen Hawking and the Keshe Foundation. Because he never understood the principle, he tried to copy and chase Keshe Foundation to change things for himself. And people believed in him. Any other question? We answered the last question and I have to go.
Okay, I'll select one from the Q&A here.
Put your hand in the bag and just shake it.
Yes, basically. The name I'm pulling out is Jefferson from Brazil. He says, thank you very much for your presence among us. My question is, why on planet Earth only the human species has the capacity to develop technologies of all types and other species have not developed in this sense? If all species are fruits of this planet and some are older than the human species, why have they not reached the same development as the human species? Furthermore, why does only the human race need to produce clothes to protect themselves from environmental conditions, and other species are born with the right clothes to live in?
Let me tell you one thing. We had the clothes, we changed it because the others had a better clothes for us. We didn't have to do. We stole from the sheep, the cow, the whatever animals we could get our hands on. And we are not the only species that physical, because we lack.
Hello, we lost your connection there, Mr. Keshe. I see your microphone is off. I'm not sure if you mean to have that off. We're not hearing you, Mr. Keshe, so I'm sure you're trying to get connected.
Sorry, I was talking and I didn't notice I touched the microphone.
Oh, okay.
The essence of us thinking we are better than the others and making tools has more or less come out of our intuition, knowledge from the other sources within us. We found with tools we can kill, with tools we can enslave and take from others what is not ours. And this has become a process. And we are getting better and better in making tools and whatever. And even the Keshe Foundation now works on the same basis to bring you back to the origin. When we were, what do you call it, in the embryo of the earth as a fish, we originally created, and whatever they tell us, we were the first mammals as a mouse hidden under the ground. And then we got a chance to grow, whatever it is, a history they made up. We come from this background of finding a way. We set our mind to survive and we gone that way. If you look at it, a lion or a tiger or other animals doesn't need a compass. It still knows the direction. Elephants travel thousands of miles, one place back. Birds fly. They have a tool. They don't need man's tools. How many birds have you seen with a compass? Oh, you lot going left. Oh, you lot, we're going down. Oh, there's a wind. Oh, this year is going to be colder. We don't go that far. We stay further south. We chose to become more materialistic. The other animals haven't, and that's why they, in a way, they survive it. The way they have survived, and the way the more tools we made, the less environment we gave them for them to survive. We're actually going backwards. If you look at the life of the animals, and then as man knowledge opens up, now that you become traveler of the universe, gradually you see we have the same immigration souls from one universe to another, because there are fields which they enjoy more. The way we go on the summer holiday, because we enjoy the sun and the sea, you'll see the travelers of the universe as souls which travel to certain places, but they don't go for a day. Their day could be 1,000,000 years of yours, because you count it going around the planet Earth, around the sun. They come from the galaxy which rotates around the universe, and they are from that dimension. So the more materialistic we became, walking away from understanding our creator, the worse we become making tools. Actually, it's a shame how the man went, because if we would have relied on our intellect, energy of the inner being of the man, would have been far, far in travel of universe than us coming and making a couple of things and running it and putting it together and trying to get you back on the same horse as you were before. You've fallen off the horse of the knowledge of universe. We're trying to get you back on it, to go back on it. That's all. You're not so advanced, you come backwards. And the more backwards you go in the understanding, morality, the worse you get. The more tools you make. Thank you very much, Rick. I have to go. I have a very long journey to take today. Please understand the teaching of today. Just don't listen to it once. What I said, the book about the origin of magnetic field, origin of life, I brought it forward for you to understand the essence of the book. And if you understand it, you become gradually ready to become passenger of the knowledge of what is to come. And join us in Sanya and start that process. Take what's in there, what you create in that cup, might be nothing with you in that cup when you're in Sanya. But when you get home, you might see essence of life in it, emotion with it. And then see how you transfer this knowledge to the others and become part of. As I said, I bring the world leaders to answer to their conducts by their own action, not by summonses, not by Dan Hague, by a court in Hague and the rest. When we ask a leader to put his cups on the table, the only reason he will not do is the fear of the truth about him. And then when a leader is not truthful to himself, does he deserve to be leading others? And then you understand the word that no man will take the crown of kingship. Because the soul of the man in any direction, dimension is tinted with something. Thank you very much, Rick. We see you next week, and we'll see where the life takes us from there. Thank you very much.
Okay, very good. Thank you, Mr. Keshe. Thank you for another Knowledge Seekers Workshop here, the 522nd of those series on Thursday, January 25th, 2024. Our next public teaching workshop will be, see here, the 30th of January, Tuesday, January 30th, will be the One Nation, One Planet, One Race for World Peace and Justice, with members of the Universal Council who bring soul solutions to our problems and issues, and invite people of the public to listen in and ask questions in that format. And that starts at 4 p.m. Again on Tuesday, January 30th. Okay, thank you everyone for being here today. Again, a special thank you to Mr. Keshe for today and for all the previous knowledge that he has released to us and that we enjoy. Okay, bye for now, everyone. Oh, our background image today is from Brigid. Thank you, Brigid, for some of the beautiful images that you bring to us. We'll go out with the Flight Enhancement Spaceship Unit, music version, as we like to do. And bye for now.